If you are looking for an affordable phone with a big screen, the Huawei Mate 10 Lite might be your best option. Hello guys, my name is Vic Christoph with PhoneArena and I have lived with the new Mate 10 Lite for about a week to find out how good of a phone it really is and can it become my daily driver. The first thing to notice about the Mate 10 Lite is that it really does not feel as big as you would expect a 5.9-inch phone to be. Its physical size is about that of the OnePlus 5. A 5.5-inch phone, but the Mate 10 has a 2x1 display. The Mate 10 Lite is built of aluminum and feels sturdy and substantial, made to last. It's slightly curved around the sides, much like an iPhone, and the back is flat. On the back you have a fingerprint scanner that unlocks with just a tap, and it is impressively fast. Right above the fingerprint reader you have the dual main camera system. It's a bit too close to the finger sensor and you often hit the lower camera when trying to unlock the phone. It's not a big deal, just something to keep in mind. The dual camera itself sticks out a bit, but it is centered and the phone doesn't wiggle. Unfortunately, there is no waterproofing on the Mate 10 Lite, so be careful not to get it wet. On the bottom there is a headphone jack and a micro USB port for charging. Yes, Huawei has really cheaped out and we wish this was a USB-C port. It's 2018 after all. The Mate 10 Lite has a big 5.9-inch LCD display and the first thing you notice about is a premium feel. It has a nice oleophobic coating and is a step above the typical cheap display. It's also a 2x1 screen, so it's taller and narrower. Colors are not quite lush as on OLED displays, they look a bit on the cold side. However, you can fix that by going to Settings, Display, Color Temperature, and here you can select the warm setting or drag the pointer to a custom color setting. The Mate 10 Lite, like most affordable Android phones, is a victim of the Android update situation as it ships with Android 7.0 Nougat. This being an affordable phone, updates will be slow and they might not even come. Now, the Emotion UI skin looks very different from pure Android and in many ways it looks influenced by the iPhone. There is no app drawer, the settings menu is similar, the look of the icons is similar and there is a swipe down for local search. While it is not particularly good looking, Emotion UI has a lot of useful features. You have knuckle gestures. Hit the screen harder with your knuckle and draw a line in the middle to enter split screen multitasking, a neat shortcut. Then you have Twin Apps, a feature that allows you to run two social accounts at the same time, or the useful hidden menu in the lock screen. Swipe up from the bottom to get something like Apple's Control Center menu of quick toggles. One thing we like about most Huawei phones is that they run very smoothly in the daily grind. The Mate 10 Lite is no exception as it moves at a swift 60 FPS. Other much more expensive Android phones could definitely learn a few tricks from here. Under the hood, the Mate 10 Lite is powered by the Kirin 659 chip with 4GB of RAM. This is a mid-range chip with about the same performance as the Snapdragon 625, but not quite as great battery life. In terms of storage, you get 64GB on board, more than most phones in this category, and you also have a micro SD card slot for even more storage. One thing to note, the Huawei Mate 10 Lite is not officially sold in the United States and does not support US 4G LTE bands. It has 4G LTE connectivity that covers most international markets though, and Europe in particular. It supports LTE bands 1, 3, 7, 8 and 20. One thing that is missing is NFC support, which is a pity. Switching to the cameras, there are dual cameras on both the back and the front. The secondary cameras are 2-megapixel shooters that help get depth information and achieve a portrait mode effect with a blurred background. The main camera on the back is a 16-megapixel shooter, while up front there is a 13-megapixel camera. Unlike most Android phones, the shortcut to quick start the camera app is not a double click of the power key, but instead it is a double press of the volume down button. The app itself has a few interesting options. You swipe left from the edge to open settings and swipe right to see different shooting modes. In the setting there is one super useful feature that most phones lack, image adjustment. Here you can actually change the saturation, contrast and brightness of images that come out of the camera, and this is great. After shooting with the Mate 10 Lite, we suggest you bring the saturation and contrast up by one stop for better looking photos. But how do photos actually turn out? Well, photos we get during the day look good with a fair amount of sharp detail. By default, colors appear a bit lacking in saturation, but you use the image adjustment settings and the results get better. At night though, this camera shows its weak side. It's hard to get a sharp shot and most images turn out blurry. No settings will help you here, this is just the way this phone is. The front camera shoots very detailed selfies, but just as most front cameras, it burns the highlights quite badly. Still, we like the quality. We did notice that skin color turns a bit pinkish though. And then you have portrait mode. It works surprisingly well. We took some great looking portraits with zero effort, and we like that you can adjust the amount of blur on a picture. You even get those signature bokeh onion rings on the widest aperture setting. And you can get similar portrait shots with a blurred background with the front camera. Talk about bringing your selfie game to the next level. Video recording quality, however, is disappointing. First, the phone does not support 4K video, but even the 1080p videos do not look great. They lack detail sorely and highlights are very overblown. On the sound front, you have a single button firing loudspeaker on the Mate 10 Lite, and it's a bit on the quiet side and just average in terms of quality, with no depth to it and a slightly squeaky tonality. Thankfully, there is a headphone jack on board, so you can plug in headphones and enjoy much better quality sound. Call quality is good on the Mate 10 Lite. Voices in the earpiece sound natural and with sufficient quality so that you can recognize who is calling easily. The Huawei Mate 10 Lite comes with a 3300 mAh battery, which is about average for a device of its size. We did not have any problems getting to a full day with this battery, but not much more. Unlike some other phones, especially those with Snapdragon 625, this phone does not break any battery life rankings. We also ran our battery life test on this phone and scored about 8 hours, which is around average for our standards. Another important aspect of the battery experience is charging time. The Mate 10 Lite is one of the slowest charging phones we've tested. It takes a whopping 2 hours and 37 minutes to get fully charged. We might sound a bit negative, but all negativity goes away when you see the price of the Mate 10 Lite. In Europe it costs €335, a very reasonable price. Its rivals are the Moto X4, Sony Xperia XA2, the Samsung Galaxy A5 2017 and iPhone SE. At the end of the day, after using the Huawei Mate 10 Lite for about a week, we're left with mostly positive impressions. The phone has a great price, it is built very solidly, has a cool 2x1 screen with tiny bezels, and we're particularly impressed with the premium finish of the display glass. Runs smoothly in the daily grind, and with a few tweaks its camera is plenty good. The portrait mode also works surprisingly well, and the fingerprint scanner is blazingly fast and accurate. The biggest issue we have is with video recording quality, and the rest are just annoyances, not major issues. So the Mate 10 Lite is a safe recommendation if you're looking for a phone that does not break the bank and work reliably. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I'm Victor with PhoneArena signing out. Subscribe to our channel if you want to see more such videos, and I will see you in the next one.